to see Kendrick get the love and support from the black woman in his life. Drake can never get that. Going back to how Drake maneuvers throughout his beefs, he always loves to target the woman in his opponent's life. And to see so many people still support Kendrick, this is something that Drake has never received. He's never received love from anybody. He's even said himself on his song with Lil Durk, "I've never been embraced." His white side, his black side, his Jewish side. Drake, he's never had this type of love that you feel in Luther. And that's the diss.
Well, right now with Kendrick Lamar, the next phase of his plan to take over hip-hop and his all-time run in the music industry has continued, as right before his Grand National Stadium tour starts, Kendrick just released a music video to the song that has not left the #1 spot for what is about to be 8 weeks in none other than Luther. And really now with the vision.
And this is so crazy because Kendrick Lamar is breaking so many records. Last time I checked, this was the longest reigning #1 R&B song of this decade. And this is from a rapper. So this is crazy. I don't want to keep mentioning Drake, but at the same time, Kendrick is a rapper's rapper, right? Kendrick doesn't even claim to be an R&B artist like Drake. He's still breaking records. He still has a better R&B record than Drake's entire R&B album. This is crazy, man. I hate how I have to keep bringing him up, but I have to. This is what this entire battle was about. We're talking about GOAT. We're talking about artistry. We're talking about culture. So this has to be brought up. It has to.
Visuals to go along with this song. What it seems like now is that this run Kendrick is having is gonna last a lot longer. And now from all of the storytelling and messaging in this video, to the subs that Kendrick is throwing right back at Drake in the best way possible after Drake has been trying to mess with Kendrick once again after his Nokia video. I mean, overall, with this brand new video from Kendrick, he has given us something that a lot of people are going to be talking about for so many reasons, because in typical fashion from him, it just opened up so many more doors to what's coming next. And now, before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now with that said, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and the Luther music video, before we even go into everything that this just paved the way for, as it has seemed like recently in the industry that there has been this effort to try and push Drake's Nokia to compete with Luther and push this new round of a Drake and Kendrick beef almost, where instead of releasing diss tracks, they are competing for a top charting record. Well, after Drake for some reason thought he could take Luther and Kendrick's #1 spot and release a music video where he was subbing Kendrick in so many different ways and have that work, after messing around and thinking he was finally gonna get a win with what Kendrick Lamar has created. While Nokia may have already been losing to Luther before it had a video and that song never had more support, Drake is now officially never gonna get ahead of this record. And
it's crazy considering this track was released last year. Y'all know that, right? He's competing with a song from a 2024 album. Let's come on, man. And y'all gotta understand with this entire Nokia song. #1, the music video was a mimic. He ended up taking Freddie Gibbs' cover art. Didn't even really do too much on the song itself, because it's already produced by somebody else. Already had the hook and the basis and foundation for the song. Hell, even going back to the song title, going back to, it's so many different things within this entire album that's only proving everybody's point with Drake. The fact that he's trying to spin these subtle shots at Kendrick, like, Drake, you can't do that with Kendrick. He's already tried to be wrecked and that hasn't worked. We saw that through the rap battle. But the subliminals, it won't work for you anymore, because now it just looks passive aggressive, especially when you have the lawsuit going down. So once again, Drake's biggest demise is coming from himself. Like Kendrick said, he's in a lifelong battle with himself. So let's keep it going, man.
Really, it seems like no artist is going to for a very long time, because with how stunning these visuals are and how they are about to be accompanied by an entire tour with both artists, Kendrick and SZA are just defining winning like nobody else is. But now when it comes to dissing Drake in the video, which has been a new iteration of Drake's back and forth so clearly, as again, Nokia's video was really more of a Kendrick diss than it even was a moment to showcase that record. Well, for Luther, Kendrick is not dissing Drake here within these super in-your-face ways that obviously just spell out that you are trying to get at him and that this is what you are watching is about. Because again, let's remember that Kendrick knows this is a top-charting melodic song that is supposed to be enjoyable and calm over everything else. And of course, knowing this, instead of making a weird homage to the person you're in a beef with like Drake did, Kendrick just tells a story here that has nothing to do with the guy whatsoever or any beef, and instead has a lot more detail in terms of creating a bigger narrative that relates to the track. But
Not only that, just look at the black love that Kendrick is consistently showcasing. This song itself is black. It's us. It's culture. It's a hug. It feels so comforting and warming to see this song get the love and praise that it has. Did not understand like Luther and what he means to our community, and to have these kids growing up with the exact same love and affection. To see a love song, to see Kendrick get the love and support from the black woman in his life. Drake can never get that. That's what's really Drake up. That's really messing with him. Because once again, going back to how Drake maneuvers throughout his beefs, he always loves to target the woman in his opponent's life. And to see so many people still support Kendrick, to see SZA standing behind Kendrick going so strong, to see Whitney, to see Serena, to see Rihanna, to see Beyonce. Yeah, this is something that Drake has never received. He's never received love from anybody this way, even from his own people. That's the reason why he has moles in this count. He's even said himself on his song with Lil Durk, I've never been embraced. His white side, his black side, his Jewish side. Dog, he's been looking for love and affection his entire life. That's the reason why he has this career. That's the reason why he's so desperate for fame. That's the reason why he had that chain with the 30 wedding rings about to symbolize all the times he thought about proposing. It's weird, man. Drake, he's never had this type of love that you feel in Luther. And that's the diss.
at the same time, while doing all of that, Kendrick fills in the lines and ties this thing together with trolling that if you are in the know about what's going on and everything with Drake especially. I mean, for Drake and OVO, they are gonna be in shambles about, because first off, even with the timing of this video releasing, this is the start of the new music tracking week, and this is the moment in time where Drake and OVO were going to make one all-out push for the last time to try and get Nokia to #1. And so with Kendrick putting this video out for this record that already has the lead right now, again, what he just did was make it all the more impossible for Drake and made sure that he is never going to be able to even act like he has made a comeback, and he will never be able to get that #1 because of that. And again, this just shows you how while Drake disses people for the audience to understand, Kendrick just wants to come in, win, and make the best things possible. He is really on a completely different level because of that. And now when it comes to the actual presentation of the video, first off, with the black and white aesthetic that the video switches in between, Kendrick really has shown how to do a video like this. But again, we shouldn't be surprised because this is the exact camera and color palette that have already been used in key storytelling moments for him, like when he was doing the Grand National Tour videos to announce it with SZA, and with Kendrick switching in and out of color here and of itself. Again, this entire detail and component to the...
Not only that, Kendrick is an artist. Dave Free, they are artists. So the entire PG Lang aesthetic is symbolic. Like, understanding my background in computer animation, I have my degree from Full Sail University. So I'm looking at the composition, I'm looking at the color theory, and the reasons why Kendrick uses the compositions and the type of clothing and what he's attempting to communicate. So as Kendrick fans, we love to go in deep dive. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of music video analysis, and I've already seen somebody already talk about the use of circles in the music video. But that's the reason why the OVO fans always love to have the stereotype of Kendrick fans being fake deep. But this is the biggest difference between the OVO side and everybody else. Because when Drake is doing the black and white video for Nokia, it's mimicry. He doesn't understand why that didn't work, because it didn't even go with the song. He doesn't understand why the black and white didn't merge, because his entire thing was to mimic. It wasn't to actually communicate something, because he doesn't know what to communicate. He's not an artist. He's not sitting back studying and breaking down film the same way Ryan Coogler is sitting down, detailing the difference between films and the use. They're not. He's not doing this, right? He's not breaking these things down to a science. He's not as meticulous as an artist like Kendrick. That's the reason why he could never win this battle. I have no idea why he thought he could win against someone like Kendrick. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Look at the people that Drake hangs around. Look at his group. Look at Kendrick. It's clear and obvious difference.
The video, while not having its primary reason be to troll Drake, as the use of it is to tell a story and create a visual identity for this track and era of his career, it ends up being great that something like this just shows how much Nokia failed and didn't understand what it was trying to do whatsoever. And now really the funniest troll that Kendrick has done with this entire thing all comes down to who directed the video itself, which this time around it was not Dave Free as usual, which tells me that he must be doing something bigger for Kendrick and PG Lang behind the scenes, is none other than director Karina Evans. And now who she is first off a Toronto native, which is already hilarious, but making the troll even funnier on Kendrick's end. In the past, she worked with Drake and directed some of his most popular videos from the era where he was arguably the biggest he ever was with his Scorpion album, as she directed all of the lead singles for that record, including tracks like Nice for What, In My Feelings, and I'm Upset. And with this, again, Drake really needs to take notes, because this is how you diss and troll into music.
I understand. I hate to even bring this woman into the, I would say this woman, Karen. I hate to even bring her into it, because I've already seen OVO fans in her comments going crazy saying she's a snake, she's a traitor. And y'all know how Drake fans do women. Y'all know how OVO fans treat women. Drake, Academics, Aiden Ross, the Andrew Schultz, that group, and how they view women. It's nasty. So I feel for her already for even doing this, but she probably knew what was going on. She's tough. She's probably been through it before. But hey, man, once again, going back to loyalty. Kendrick has LA behind him. He has the woman behind him. Drake, man, like I said, this goes back to who he is as a person. Look at everyone betraying him. Look at everyone turning against him. It's a 20v1 for a reason. Everyone can't be the issue. It has to be Drake. He's the middleman in all these issues. So he has to do some type of self-reflection. And I don't believe he can.
Video, because for Kendrick Lamar, when you think about how fans and people who just like the song are going to hear the video, they're just going to see it as a cool piece of art that matches the song well and gives them something interesting to look at. But meanwhile, beyond the surface, from directorial choices to when it dropped even, you know that Kendrick was trying to troll Drake and once again send a quiet message to him that does not actually step on the art he is making, but is still letting him know that this is his genre, his industry, and that it's his era, and that he is going to have to try a lot harder to even come slightly close. And again, when you compare the subtle trolling in the background of Luther to the weird disses of Nokia, you just see why these guys are in the places they are, and why one has kept on winning and why one just keeps losing more and more. But now with the all-time great trolling from Kendrick out of the way, when it comes to the rest of this Luther video, this is really an amazing piece that Kendrick has given us, and even when we compare it to the visuals that we have already seen from him in this era, it's a perfect extension and continuation of everything GNX is about. And now while the Squabble Up music video felt like its own contained thing, this Luther video is much more expansive and is doing a ton of world building for both the album and tour, because as you can see in this video, and even see how some of the rooms that we are seeing here end up being connected back to that main room that Kendrick Lamar made the GNX trailer in. I mean, this is clearly trying to tell us something bigger, and whether that's about the album itself, a potential deluxe coming, or maybe even what the tour is going to be like and how the presentation is just going to be next level.
And it just goes back to the storytelling aspect. It goes back to the reason why Kendrick fans break down Kendrick so much. This is why we do the analysis that we do. Understand why? Because there's so much storytelling. Man, if you're an artist, you have to appreciate this. So Kendrick, he speaks to artistry. He's showing that we still value art. He's giving so many people hope, man, to say, hey, whether it's from the music side, whether it's from the video side, whether it's from the performance side, whether it's from just literacy in general. Man, intelligence is still popular, it's still valuable, it's still monetizable. So once again, going back to Doechii and Tyler the Creator, and YG just dropped his song Being Vulnerable, and it's creating a new lane and new opportunity for people to say, cool, I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't have to be strong 24/7. I can still be vulnerable and still communicate what I need to communicate. And that's what I love about this culture, man. So this is just a reflection.
It's clear that Luther is really trying to expand the scope and is letting us know that what Kendrick Lamar is doing is even bigger than we once understood. But now beyond that, and again, once again, always showing that everything Kendrick does is to expand his art and the story he is trying to tell, and not just make some weird statements that are ultimately pointless like other people. What's really interesting about this Luther video is that just like other Kendrick videos, we don't just see the song get played through here over some visuals, but in multiple times. There are pauses and breaks which are just expanding the story and depth of what Kendrick and SZA put together here, and even with the outro of the video, which features a whole section of its own where the actual track that the record samples is playing over. With this, one of the big things about GNX and this era from Kendrick Lamar becomes more apparent than it ever has been, which is that as the Luther Vandross song that this sample gets to play in the background and everyone who may have never heard it gets to listen to it, while there are a lot of other plot threads and ideas in this music video that need to be explored and really do need their own breakdowns, what Kendrick makes more clear than ever, both by this record being such a big song, and then now letting all of these people who may have never actually heard the real track get to experience it with some amazing visuals that Kendrick has curated, that overall, and what we are about to seemingly find out on this tour, and with whatever other surprises Kendrick Lamar may have, is that while this GNX era is so meaningful for Kendrick himself and represents his rise over everything in the industry like we have never seen before, it's also bringing up others with him and putting the industry within a better place. And now whether that's with all of the new rappers he has helped put on, or it's like what we are seeing here, which is by honoring and giving homage to one of the greatest voices ever in music, who was notoriously disrespected by the industry in his time, and from being snubbed at award shows over and over again to never getting that #1 song of his own. Really, what Kendrick is doing here is channeling the past, present, and future of music through him, and is now with this record more than ever, allowing and giving Luther Vandross and his amazing work and contribution to the music world the biggest nod and honor it ever could. And
All right, well, this just goes back to Kendrick entering this new era of OG status, to where he's not just doing the behind the scenes. He started off as the hype man, then he graduated to being K-Dot, then Kendrick Lamar, then he's becoming the sensei, where he's working behind the scenes on Playboi Carti's album, doing the PG Lang situations where he has music videos, he has the South Park film coming up. He's doing so much in culture in general nowadays. He's reaching a different level now. So in our culture, he's able to literally, like I said, put people on, to put his hands in different things, almost like how Jay-Z is at that status, how Kanye was at that status. Now, that's one of the reasons why Kanye is upset, because Kendrick is replacing Kanye as that curator, the one that we went to for Sauce, the one who kind of curated and designed our culture, who helped manifest and add patterns, right, to art. So I hate to go back to Drake, but at the same time, Drake could have been in this position. Like, he already started with the executive producing with Euphoria, but Drake, he doesn't have the artistic talent to do so. He has the capitalistic mind to make things happen. But Drake, he can't do it. He's too selfish. He has too much of an ego. So let's see what Drake does, man.
I mean, to just see this and see a song that is literally titled after him, now getting to see the success it is and being the centerpiece to this entire album and what is going to become the Grand National Tour, this is what Kendrick Lamar in this era is all about. And I am sure from here, while we don't know what Kendrick is going to do next specifically, that silence in the video at the end and a lot of the cryptic hints from closed off doors and sections within the same GNX room.
Looking to make 2025 the year that you create your best tracks? With Splice, I'm starting the
is really showing and telling us that more is going to come from here, and that Kendrick is really planning to take over the industry a lot more, because everything is indicating this. And so altogether, when you put all of this into perspective, Luther isn't just a statement that is going to raise the bar for the song and the tour. But even with Kendrick working with the director who did the videos for what was Drake's biggest album in terms of the major songs on it, I think this is another moment for Kendrick where it is showing that he is now the guy that Drake thought he used to be, and that these records are the type of moments dominating the industry that Drake used to think he created. And I really think with that understanding of this video, what everyone should see is that this is Kendrick Lamar's claim to solidify himself as not just the biggest rapper right now, but really, based on what we have seen, the biggest hitmaker in all of music at the moment, and going forward from here, if Kendrick is going to be able to embody flash and spectacle with storytelling and purpose like we see right within Luther, everyone better get back because the dot era is only going to change everything a lot more.
Hey man, and this just means that everybody else got to step up. That's what academics was talking about, saying that a lot of rappers were saying that Kendrick Lamar was making hip hop boring. So you understand that's going to be a culture shift. So that side of hip hop is having issues because they actually have to get deeper within themselves. If you go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the very top of that pyramid is self-actualization. A lot of these guys have no idea who they are. So they can't communicate themselves. They can't go as deep as Kendrick. They can't make these love songs. They can't stimulate our human nature the exact same way because their thoughts are shallow. Their thoughts are extremely surface level. So if they can't do it to themselves, they can't be abundant. They can't do it for other people. Can't even do it for, once again, their 5 people that they have around them. So we got to sit back and watch, man. But appreciate y'all. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. See y'all in the next video. If this world were mine.